Welcome to our deep dive into Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. This isn't like your typical book report, though. We're going to go a bit deeper than that. We're going to unearth some of those philosophical ideas and really explore, how they might resonate with your own life. Ready for some serious aha moments.
Absolutely. The Alchemist isn't some, dense philosophical treatise. It's a story. It's almost a fable.
Right.
But woven into that simple narrative are some really profound questions about purpose, destiny, and the journeys that we all take.
And right from the start, we meet Santiago. He's a shepherd boy in Andalusia.
Right.
Now, most shepherds, they just tend their sheep. But Santiago, he reads to his sheep. He actually believes they understand. It made me wonder, what unconventional ways do we connect with the world around us?
Well, I think it speaks to Santiago's innate curiosity, his willingness to see beyond the ordinary. And that's really crucial to his journey, right? He's open to the subtle language of the world, even before he encounters the alchemist himself.
And then he had this encounter with the old King Melchizedek, who introduces this idea of the personal legend. That, that thing you've always yearned to accomplish deep, deep down. Have you ever felt that pull, that sense of a unique calling that's just waiting to be discovered?
I think it's such a powerful question that resonates through the entire story. The Alchemist suggests that we all have this innate purpose, this personal legend, right? But fear, routine, societal pressures, all of those things can easily lead us astray.
Right. The book is full of these omens, recurring dreams, chance encounters, symbols that all seem to be guiding Santiago. It's like the universe is constantly nudging him along, saying, hey, pay attention. The dream of treasure at the pyramids, that's a perfect example. It just sparks this longing in him, this pull that he just can't ignore.
Exactly. And it's not just about the literal treasure, is it?
Right.
I mean, the treasure, it symbolizes that ultimate fulfillment, that deeper yearning that we all share. But notice Santiago's initial reaction to the dream.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of dismisses it.
Yeah. He gets irritated with the old woman.
Yeah. He gets irritated with the old woman who interprets it for him.
Yeah.
He's clinging to the familiar, he's resistant to change.
It's so relatable. I mean, we do that all the time, don't we?
We do. We absolutely do.
But then, bam, he's robbed in Tangier. It's a harsh lesson, isn't it? About trusting your gut.
Yeah.
Navigating the realities of the world.
It is a turning point, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he loses all of his possessions. His naivete is shattered, but he still has those two stones, Urim and Thummim.
Right.
Those were gifts from the king.
Right. To help him read the omens.
Exactly. To help him read the omens. So stripped bare, he's really forced to confront his deepest desires.
And he uses the stones, to ask, is the old king's blessing still with me? It's like, even when we lose our way, that inner compass, that belief in our potential, it can still guide us. It's a pretty powerful reminder.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say?
Resilience and faith, those are essential on the path to our personal legend. And then, of course, he meets the crystal merchant.
Right.
And here's a man with his own Mecca dream, a pilgrimage he longs for, but he never actually takes. He's terrified of disappointment. Yeah. So he just clings to the dream but never takes any action.
It's tragic, really. And he even warns Santiago. He says, every blessing ignored becomes a curse. It's almost like he sees in Santiago that spark that he himself has lost, right? That willingness to pursue the dream, even if it means risking failure.
Right. And it's fascinating how Santiago uses his ingenuity to actually boost the crystal merchant's business. He suggests selling tea in crystal glasses, right? Appealing to people's desire for beauty and luxury.
Yeah.
He's not just dreaming, he's actually taking action.
Right.
Learning about the world and himself in the process.
And yet, amidst all of this, that yearning for the pyramids, for that ultimate treasure, it never leaves him. He's gaining all this valuable experience, honing his skills, unknowingly preparing himself for what lies ahead.
Right. And it reminds us that the path to our destiny is very rarely a straight line. Embracing those detours, extracting wisdom from every experience, that's where the real growth happens. That's the real magic. And then he joins the caravan. That's a real leap of faith for Santiago. He's leaving behind the security that he's built for himself and venturing into the vast, unforgiving desert.
Yeah.
It's it's a decision that really speaks volumes about his commitment to his personal legend.
It really does. It's like he's finally embracing that call to adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Stepping outside his comfort zone.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, the people he meets along the way.
Oh, yeah.
The Englishman who's obsessed with alchemy and books, the camel drivers full of wisdom, all those merchants, tribesmen. It's like a microcosm of humanity out there.
It is. It really is. Each person with their own story.
Yeah.
Their own dreams, their own fears. But they're all bound together on this shared journey across the desert.
Right.
It's a reminder that even though our paths are all unique,
Mm-hmm.
we're all connected in this grand tapestry of life.
We are. And the camel driver,
Yeah.
he becomes Santiago's friend and mentor.
Right.
He teaches him about living in the present moment,
Yeah.
savoring each day. He actually says, life will be a party for you, a grand festival. And it really got me thinking.
Yeah.
How often do we get caught up in chasing the future
Yeah.
that we totally forget to appreciate the beauty of right now?
It's a profound lesson, and one that Santiago really takes to heart.
He does.
He starts to understand that the journey itself is the real treasure. The experiences, the connections, the lessons learned along the way. That's where the true value lies.
Yeah. And he even starts to grasp that universal language that he kind of glimpsed with his sheep.
Right.
That unspoken communication between all things. It's like he's tuning into this deeper frequency and starting to understand the interconnectedness of everything.
He's learning to listen not just with his ears, but with his heart, with his intuition.
Right.
He's becoming more attuned to those subtle whispers of the world, the signs and omens that are guiding him toward his destiny.
And then like a shimmering mirage in the middle of this desolate landscape, they reach the oasis.
Yes.
And that's where he meets Fatima.
Ah, Fatima. A true woman of the desert. Strong, independent, wise. Their connection is immediate and so profound.
It is. Yeah.
It's a love that transcends any physical boundaries. It's a meeting of souls.
And what struck me is how Fatima doesn't try to hold Santiago back.
Right.
She understands his need to fulfill his personal legend, even if it means leaving her behind. It's a love that empowers, that encourages growth and the pursuit of one's dreams.
It's a beautiful example of what true love can be, supportive, understanding, and ultimately selfless.
But then, conflict erupts.
Yes.
Tribal warfare is threatening the oasis and throwing everything into turmoil.
Yeah, it throws everything into question.
And Santiago's caught in the middle of this whirlwind of uncertainty. His heart is torn between his love for Fatima and the pull of his treasure. And he even uses his intuition to warn the tribal chieftains about an impending attack, even though that goes against the oasis's traditions.
Wow.
Talk about courage.
It's a pivotal moment for sure.
It is.
He's stepping outside his comfort zone again, trusting his inner voice even when it goes against the grain.
Right.
And in the midst of all of this chaos, amidst that looming threat of war, he finally encounters the alchemist.
After months of searching, he finds him.
Yeah.
And the timing is just incredible.
It is.
I mean, the alchemist appears right after that really chilling encounter with the horseman in black.
Right.
Mysterious figure.
It's almost as if the horseman representing destiny has paved the way for this meeting, right? I mean, the encounter with the horseman is like this brush with death.
Yeah.
A reminder that the path to our destiny can be fraught with danger.
Yeah.
But it also serves as this catalyst propelling Santiago toward his ultimate destiny.
And the alchemist doesn't disappoint, does he? I mean, his words are like ancient wisdom distilled into these simple truths. When a person really desires something, he says, all the universe conspires to help that person realize his dream. But he also cautions Santiago, right, about becoming fixated on the destination. He urges him to savor the journey itself.
It's delicate balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having a clear vision of our goals, but remaining present and open to the unexpected twists and turns along the way.
Yeah.
It's about trusting the process, even when things get challenging.
But Santiago, like many of us, he's impatient.
Mm-hmm.
He's eager to learn the secret of turning lead into gold
Yeah.
to reach the pyramids, to find his treasure. He's still clinging to that idea that his destiny lies at the end of this arduous journey.
Right. He's so focused on the outcome, the reward.
Mm.
He's almost forgetting that the real transformation is happening within him, step by step, experience by experience.
But Fatima, in her wisdom, she understands.
Yes.
She doesn't try to hold him back. She encourages him to go. She reminds him that their love transcends physical distance. It's a bittersweet farewell.
It is.
But there's this profound trust between them. A deep knowing that their connection runs deeper than the shifting sands of the desert.
Their love has been tested and refined by the challenges that they've faced together. They've both grown, they've evolved, and their love reflects that growth. It's a love that's rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and a shared commitment to their individual paths.
And so Santiago and the Alchemist, they venture deeper into the desert.
Yeah.
They face new dangers, tribal warfare, constant tests of faith. It's like each step forward pushes him closer to his limits, forcing him to confront his deepest fears.
The desert becomes a crucible,
right?
A testing ground for his resolve.
Yeah.
He faces the fear of failure, the fear of losing everything he's gained, the fear of not being enough. But the alchemist guides him, right?
Right.
Reminding him that fear is a natural part of the journey. The fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself.
And then comes the ultimate test. They're captured by this fierce tribe and threatened with death unless Santiago can prove his sorcery by turning himself into the wind.
Oh, wow.
I mean, talk about a life or death challenge.
Yeah.
This pushes him to the very edge of his being.
It's the culmination of everything he's learned.
Right.
Everything he's experienced. He's forced to confront his limitations.
Yeah.
To surrender to a power greater than himself, to tap into the very essence of creation. It's a moment of profound vulnerability, but also immense courage.
Imagine the pressure, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to turn yourself into the wind, it feels impossible.
Yeah.
But it's like he almost has to become one with the desert.
Yeah.
Like, understand its language on this.
Yeah.
This, like, primal level.
Exactly. It's not about literally shape-shifting.
Right.
It's about tapping into that soul of the world, realizing that we're all part of something much, much bigger.
So he talks to the desert, pleads with the wind, even connects with the sun, but they all admit they can't turn him into the wind.
Yeah.
They all point him towards this higher power. They say, speak to the hand that wrote all.
And this is where surrender comes in. Not giving up, but acknowledging a force beyond our individual control. And Santiago's prayer, it's not words, it's pure feeling, pure connection.
And that's when it hits him, right? It's part of that divine force, that soul of God. He understands the interconnectedness of everything, from the smallest grain of sand to the vast universe.
A true epiphany.
It is.
And with that realization comes power. He finally understands his own potential, his ability to in a sense perform miracles.
And then
boom.
This massive sandstorm erupts, a simum.
Yeah.
It nearly destroys the camp. It's like a physical manifestation of the power he's unleashed.
It's a testament to his transformation, When the dust settles, he's unharmed. He's on the other side of the camp. The tribesmen are just in awe. The alchemist is beaming. Even the chief recognizes the glory of God in what just happened.
What a victory. Not just for Santiago, but for anyone who's ever dared to chase their personal legend, despite the odds. And finally, they reach the pyramids.
Yeah.
But the alchemist, in a move of true wisdom, he leaves Santiago to finish the journey alone.
It's as if he's saying, you've been guided this far. You've learned the lessons. Now trust your own heart.
And where does his heart lead him? Disappointment.
Sure.
There's no treasure where he expects it. It's heartbreaking. It makes you question everything.
But in that moment of defeat,
yeah,
the real revelation occurs. He remembers the thief's dream.
Oh, right. Back in Tangier.
Yeah.
Back in Tangier. The one he'd scoffed at.
Yeah.
The treasure wasn't at the pyramids at all. It was back in Spain all along.
Yeah.
It's a twist that makes you rethink the whole journey.
Yeah.
The treasure was right where he started, but he needed the entire adventure to be ready to find it. to face his fears, to learn to open his heart to the world's language.
That's what's so powerful about The Alchemist. The real treasure isn't the gold, it's the wisdom gained.
Yeah.
The transformation that Santiago undergoes. He's not just a shepherd anymore. He's a man who understands himself, the world, and his place in it.
I mean, he could settle down, live this comfortable life.
Yeah.
But something tells me this isn't the end of his story. He's tasted adventure.
Right.
He's embraced his personal legend. That yearning for more, I think it stays with you.
And that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
The Alchemist isn't just about finding some treasure.
Yep.
It's about the continuous pursuit of our dreams, the evolution of our souls. It leaves us with this lingering question: what's your treasure? What steps can you take today to move closer to your own personal legend?
It's a call to action, isn't it?
It is.
To look inward, to listen to our hearts, to trust those little nudges from the universe. Maybe that the treasure isn't even a physical thing.
Right.
Maybe it's a feeling, an experience, a state of being.
Precisely. And the journey, with all of its twists and turns, its joys and heartbreaks, that's the true treasure. Even if we never reach some ultimate destination, it's the becoming, the evolving that matters.
Absolutely. So what are you waiting for? Go out there, find your treasure. And if you haven't read The Alchemist, pick up a copy. You won't regret it. Until next time, keep diving deep